See, and we have a brand new emoticon on Base Trade TV now. Ace FFS. I'll let you figure out what that stands for, but it's basically the zombie grub facepalm emote, so feel free to use it in multiple different iterations today. I think it actually just went live like half an hour before the cast, but I was checking last night. Anyways, big shout out to the wonderful people at Twitch for helping us get these emotes and all these wonderful things, but as we get into this, it's the Halo Koreans final day, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 best-of-5 semifinals, we got a 3rd place bronze match, and of course the best-of-7 grand finals. But it's not just Rifkin and Zombie Grub, no, we've brought back James, because we're crazy like that.
The awkward awesome trycast.
It's one of those times, the rare times I wish I cast our cameras on. This guy embarrasses himself, you guys don't even get to see it. But in
I'm
the best
doing
way.
it because the camera is not on.
Okay, fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top right corner of the map, from Invasion Esports, it's the Blue Protoss Super.
In the bottom left, as the red Protoss, it's Rain.
Alright, so before we get into this, once again, keep in mind we did a quick little test before getting into the game. Things sound generally okay, but if there are issues on sound, you may have to bear with them for some time. There's a bit of stream delay, and after that we'll fix and adjust accordingly. But PvP, man, I don't want to say it, but I love this matchup. I love what this matchup potentially can be. I should be more accurate with that. I think Rain, he's shown us actually not the best play, I feel, a lot of the time. His actual round of 8 matches were fantastic. The end of his group stage was pretty cool. But for the most part, whenever we see Rain in these tournaments we're hosting, he's not exactly performing to his strengths that you would assume out of him. Especially when he fell last place in the ISO Holiday Brawl. That really just caught me off guard. So I don't know what sort of shape he's in right now. Whereas Super, on the other hand, like, I mean, this guy's kind of the unknown in comparison. He's been kicking so much ass in his tournaments. This PvP, this could go either direction.
James.
Yeah.
Oh! Huh. Cool.
James,
Proxy.
actually, every time James can call this correctly, James, you know, even though there's only really one option, what's this gonna be?
Obviously Stargate.
Yeah.
Joke.
Oh,
I would love
Wow.
though. I would love though if this was just because it's you. We see a Twilight Council come down and a Dark
If
Shrine.
he throws down a robo, that would be funny.
That would actually be really cool if he did, but nah, it's a Stargate. As I said, there's only one real option for this. Now, Rain scouts the base of Super immediately, and he sees that there's not a pylon. This is kind of a big deal. There's no 16 supply pylon. He's going to check down to the south. He sees nothing. Checks over here. Nothing's hidden. So his assumption probably as well is going to be Stargate. So I imagine we'll see a couple stalkers come out in that mothership core a little bit faster. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
So this is a ballsy move out of Super.
A little, but it is a best of 5.
True enough. Actually, thank you, because I have the overlay wrong. There we go, best of 5 now is what it says.
Huh. Yeah. You know, I tried so hard to get that to work on my own overlay. I updated GameHard, so at least my unit's lost works now, which is something that did not work before. But I still can't do the best of thing.
Control Shift S?
Yeah, it won't appear.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to watch the VODs yet, or I would have scolded you by now. Shame. Shame.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. Because, you know, I hate having to tune in and be like, what's the score?
Oh, dude, this kind of sucks.
I
I
thought
mean,
you were doing it on purpose.
the mothership core is not going to have an energy for photon overcharge anyways, but the fact that this is across the map killing the pylon is kind of cool. It'll limit how much more comes out of this, but one stalker, maybe 2? Okay, that's your coding at a 3rd. That's going to be critical.
I don't know about the second Oracle. What do you think? I mean, obviously, Rain knows that you're going for a Stargate.
I kind of like it, but he sacrifices the first one. I'm not sure I love that.
I guess if you're gonna get the second,
Well, that probably was the reason why he was getting the second Oracle. If
Yeah.
it ever comes out,
No,
well, he
cancels
can get it
not
later.
likely.
Oh, just cancels it. Never mind.
Oh, follows up with a big gateway. 3 gates with the Twilight Council. I mean, I don't know if he's going to try and catch up in this Blink race that's currently going down, because Rain's already got Blink started, but 3 gates will at least give him the production to fight Rain on even footing.
Yeah. Rain's 3rd gate is finishing up, and he does have a proxy pylon, so it's obvious that he can start the aggression. He won't have blink, so it won't be that powerful, but you could, you know, maybe make sure that Super didn't take a fast Nexus, for instance, which actually you saw wasn't going to be the case with that probe.
Yeah,
This very much justifies why Super dove in with his Oracle, and he was maybe looking to make the second one, because the 5 worker count difference when you're both sitting at 3 gateways is a big deal. And also, if you went again, got another 5 or so, that would have really gone out of control in terms of what Super could produce versus what Rain could.
I hope Super gets his high ground. It's the only advantage he really has coming up against this.
It just makes sense, though. I mean, Rain has to, he would have been at a perfect probe count already, and now he still really isn't. But he wants to really do the attack, it looks like, even without... Yeah, is that a probe? Yeah, it's a probe. So he really wants to do that attack. And he will have Blink for like a minute longer. Yeah, just about almost a minute longer. But that's like, it's so hard to hit that exact timing.
But that's kind of what I was talking about before, like the advantage of the high ground vision. That's what Super has to hold on to for that minute gap or whatever while Blink finishes up for him.
Rain has to have like a, he needs to know that he will win the fight, because otherwise you don't blink up there, which you can because there's no sentry, but do you really want to? Because, I mean, they have the same stalkers as you do.
If that proxy pylon lived, maybe this jab would have been a lot more close than what we just seen, but without that, I don't really see it working. I mean, from Rain's perspective, they started off the same. Either the fact that the Stargate and everything. If you look at the worker count difference, we see that the five kills out of that Oracle did its own share of work, and Rain is definitely feeling pressured.
What?
Ignored.
Oh, he's gonna
rejected.
Two stalkers.
Oh, no. 3.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's blinked incorrectly.
The count's already out of control. He actually got another one to the north. I'm not sure what was up with that. So it goes from quickly 7 to 5. 15 stalkers outside his front door.
Oh, where's the sentry?
You work with a sentry? He did. He's got 2, but they're not here to block anything useful. 3 stalkers also giving chase on the other side of the field. Rain is just being given a run for his money right now.
Well, I guess he didn't need to. Yeah, he didn't need to force it off the bottom of the ramp, but he easily could have. The Mothership Core was never made for Super, so they wouldn't have had Gun Vision.
Yeah, the Immortal's coming out soon, so he's gonna be okay with this. It's now that it's gonna be a lot more difficult for Rain to take the expansion versus Super Ken.
But it's one Immortal, right? Like, I mean.
But, like, we saw a lot... No, we didn't. Oh, man, it's like the first time that I cast something you weren't a part of. Wow. So we saw a lot of, like, Blink on Immortals in, like, the IAM qualifiers. But the difference for Rain is that he has Zealots. So with Zealots, whenever you blink on top of the Immortal, you blink on top of Zealots. And they actually deal a lot of damage if they can connect. So it makes you second guess, going on to one Immortal. And the Hallucinated Immortal is also just a nice touch.
I think that's actually the coolest thing you can do. For those who don't know, the Hallucinated Immortal also gets Hardened Shields. So it takes a little bit more time to notice that it's fake opposed to if you're shooting like a regular Stalker. But he's been driven back out of the main. But that Stalker count is wildly out of control. Even with 3 Immortals, I still think Super could dance. He could tango for a small time. Forceful going to be here for that ramp as well. And if Rain blinks down to the low ground to pick off these 2 sentries, he's dead.
Rain doesn't know if there's a force field yet or a sentry. He'll see it now. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for him to come down the ramp now. Even more.
Okay, well, Super has Nexus, I guess, his biggest advantage. The longer he delays Rain off of his, the chance he takes that economic lead. But trying to make up for these Immortals is going to be a struggle. I mean, his Robo's only just now coming out. Even if he chronos out every single Immortal, they're still going to be behind. Once Rain gets confident enough to break out, though, this could go to hell very quickly.
I feel like only way Rain could break out of this is maybe blink some Stalkers down the ramp. Then I was gonna say lure Super's army and then come out. But
yeah, it was really cool play with the War Prism to bring it down. I like that, but I think that the Immortals may have been a little bit too delayed. I mean, he's still gonna push this back, but take such heavy losses for it.
Great force fields, though. Great force fields.
Yeah.
It could have went a lot better for Super, but Super has his own robotics facility and he's pumping out Immortals, so he's not gonna die to this counter attack or anything like that. Snipe on the War Prism is.
Yeah, they're gonna trade a couple Stalkers going back across the map. As long as he doesn't fight in range of the Immortals, he'll be fine. Continuing to blink away. Reinforcement should be a little bit better for Super, especially with high ground vision. He can turn this around, and I think Rain knows that as well, so kind of stops and halts his assault for the time being. His own Nexus coming down, but Super's got a pretty nice lead in probes at the moment. I don't think he's in dire danger. If he did not pick off that 3rd Immortal across the map, I think this would look a lot scarier, but 1 Immortal and 1 half dead, Super should be able to hold this.
He never got a Mothership Core, so that's one thing we usually would assume would be the case. There'd be a Photon Overcharge just ready to go. But there isn't. And yeah, I don't know if Rain could have really taken advantage of that. His army was still kind of small, and you know he doesn't have a good economy and such not as good production. But Rain is like so far behind now with the Nexus.
I enjoy that he didn't get a mothership core this game, though, to be honest. It gave him a lot more stalkers, a lot more gas to play with. I mean, the mineral cost is a little bit negligible, but that was kind of the edge. Like, his mothership core being sacrificed was the same as that Stargate, I guess. You know, maybe evens out in that regard, I don't know. But giving chase across the map like this is really ballsy, getting really far ahead of his army. Super has to be careful not to overexpose himself. There are no pylons to warp in with.
Force fields
There's a lot of zealots.
Tries to keep him alive. Bit of an awkward engagement.
Yeah.
Back at home, we got those immortals still coming out. We got another observer starting up over here, but we don't see anyone really moving towards Colossus tech. I mean, I can't understand Rain not doing it, but Super, who's had this kind of freebie, this edge, I'm a little bit surprised hasn't.
If Rain can draw this out just a little longer, Rain's gonna be in much better position than Super. Although, despite being his expansion being late and worker count being down, but his weapon upgrade is better than Super.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know if that's going to make up
Just
such a late Nexus and such a late probe count.
The thing is that he has the timing, right? With the better weapon better upgrades, he has those couple windows where he could take, you know, with good engagement, he can do really well from this engagement.
It's always possible. It's just that Super is going to have well, a lot of units.
Well, yeah.
So I really don't know if one upgrade is going to work out. In fact, that's not going to be done for this engagement here.
Barely
Force field barely catches the immortal.
Yeah. 3 immortals to 2. I mean, technically Super has more units, and as James said, there is going to be an upgrade lead slightly for Rain, but again, it's +1 weapons versus a 3rd immortal. That's going to be really hard to balance out. I really don't know how that goes down, but we do have Super moving towards the Robo Bay. Getting this Colossus out is going to be a pretty darn big deal. Even takes a 3rd base behind this. This is like, this is confidence is what this is.
Yeah. Well, Rain, you know, once he sees this, I don't know if he's actually scouted it. No, he does not. So if he sees it, once he sees it, he has to decide if he's going to get an even like later 3rd than his own natural was, like in the beginning of the game, or to just like basically 2-base all in. And I don't know, I really just like, you know, the one thing at first you could do is get like a bit of a faster 3rd, because their first Nexus was slower. But if your first Nexus was slower and your second Nexus was slower, I don't know what you really have anymore.
Just completely unrelated. I guess the zombie grub emoticon got slightly skewed. It's supposed to be all caps, but it's not. I'll have to fix that later. Awkward. Tapped out for a moment to start dropping some spam in chat. Couldn't do it properly. Oops. But
Well,
all right.
Rain sees that 3rd is there, but for Super,
Yeah.
and I think he's gonna hit with the weapon 2 upgrade timing.
I like the Archon.
No,
It's
he
a nice
cancels
little
it.
addition.
Yeah, I was going to say that wouldn't have hit anytime soon, so that would be way too long to wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's like, you know, just like one more High Templar, I guess, for that Archon that he just made. And his tech really isn't all that much greater. They both have charge, but I do believe that Rain's the only one that has Archon capabilities.
But
yeah.
The same thing can be said that Super's just got so much more. I mean, 20 zealots over 14.
Yes. I have faith in Super here, really, which is so odd after how the beginning of this game went down.
Great force field.
Yeah.
Time Warp's really nice.
And
You're
this
going to keep the
this was
Colossus in
great timing.
place. But look at these immortals go for Super. They just turtle up hard. Punch a hole through just about everything that comes through those front lines. Both players have kind of lost their buffer at this point. I think the Colossus is going to end up winning this out. He's got that range bonus. External Thermalize did finish. A little bit of splash damage is nothing to talk about. You got 5 immortals hammering away at Stalkers. 5 immortals on top of other immortals. Good game is called, and Super will take game number 1.